debating students?
Well, I appreciate that, and one of the reasons that I try to talk about what UCLA itself controls by sharing with you UCLA investment company investments in the 0.04% that you mentioned is because that's what we control. And, you know, I was talking with the chancellor, and obviously the regents own everything at the University of California, so we have to see whether there's a way to move forward with transparency. I know one of your demands was divest, but also transparency. Learning more about that 0.04%, or even if there are other companies that, as you define it, don't fit into the framework that we've currently used. And so, we're open to looking into how we might do that. And I think that
we're not interested in just looking into it. We're not interested in having endless bureaucratic conversations. We're not interested in this being a decade-long process. But we have to establish the facts, though, right? One demand cannot be separated from the other. We require transparency because our real demand is divestment.
Right. Well, but you have to understand the facts before you can divest, if that's an option. And again, what we control here at UCLA is the UCLA Investment Company, and the regents control at the UC level. And so we can't. That's a demand that we can't here at UCLA unilaterally meet.
I mean, frankly, in that case, you might not be the right person for us to be talking to. Ultimately, what we are trying to leverage is the money that the regents invest in. So you can promise things. You can say my hands are tied, but ultimately, we are here until the regents divest. We understand who our enemy is here. We understand who is calling the shots, pulling the strings. And it doesn't matter what UCLA says. It doesn't matter what you say. We're here until the regents divest.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the right person. I mean, I do care about your demands. I want to hear about your experiences. And, genocide is a horrific thing. And, we want to create space at UCLA for people to express themselves freely without fear of threat. Again, what happened last night was completely unacceptable. It was something that, on the one hand, we talk about wanting to remove the police, but to protect something like what happened last night, I mean, you've got to have 300 or 400 police officers.
So that's not true, because the police were there, and they didn't do anything.
No.
The only people that protected us were us.
They were straight. The police came in waves last night. They came like 20, and then they were amassing to the number that they finally got around 4 a.m.
The police did actually do something yesterday. The police did do something yesterday. You know what the police did? The police detained one of our own people, tackled him to the ground up there. Medical emergency? What? Chained him to it. Locked him in a closet. Refused to let medics get through to him. Hurt the medics when they tried to get through to him.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that, but that sounds.
Haven't heard about that. It was the detainment that happened yesterday morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been.
He's not a Fed. He's the Vice Chancellor.
I mean, I've been, around the clock trying to figure out, what's going on and trying to message to the campus and trying to arrange a time to meet with you. I mean,
also, another thing is,
if you use that logic, October 7th was 40K Americans equivalent. That would mean Israel's killed 5.6 million equivalent Americans.
Forget that, Gene Block is also the head of that board of directors. So, it's not a lot of money. Not only that, we want that, and we want to divest from that, and we want to divest from the regents' money as well.
Right.
But let's start where it is. Let's not undermine how much we are investing currently as the UCLA Foundation in these companies. It's like percentages are a great way to undermine how much we're profiting from death and destruction.
Yeah, well.
But when we look at the numbers, $3 million in Lockheed Martin, for example, is an immense amount of money.
Yeah, well. That's one of the things that we're going to have to look at. I mean, we can certainly look at it in terms of transparency and find out.
Vice Chancellor being there is good, though. Is good specifically because that means, even though there's all this police presence, maybe they won't do anything, hopefully.
And manufacture consent from your students. Let's not forget that academically also, all these academic programs that you are having, that we are asking you to defund, that we are asking you to stop having on this campus are extremely important. I mean, last quarter, we had a war criminal on our campus.
Yeah. It's, we have academic problems. I mean, academic programs. We have academic freedom. We have debate. I don't personally hire faculty members.
Are you here to make excuses to us, or are you here to have a serious conversation?
Well, no, I'm here to listen to your concerns. I'm here to listen to your critiques, and I'm here to give you an account for why the things you're critiquing.
Well, you're saying that you've been requesting a meeting. We had conditions for how we were going to meet with you, and you refused those conditions over and over.
How did I abuse the conditions?
You refused our conditions over and over.
What were the conditions I refused?
We asked for one, that you came to the encampment. Earlier today, you tried to move us to a neutral zone because of impending arrest, which clearly is in bad faith because of it puts everybody in here at risk. Shame.
That wasn't my intention. My intention was to have a meeting in a space that we could talk.
Yeah, we also asked for amnesty while negotiations continue. We as students are putting ourselves in so much visibility right now just being here talking to you.
Yeah. Well,
you know what it means.
I think he looks. I mean, this is not great optics for the students. I can tell this is not great optics for the students, specifically because, like, while they do have the moral high ground in this circumstance, this is a professional elderly adult in a position of power, and he looks very cool, calm, and collected. And footage like this will be used against him. I mean, against the students, to be like, see how fucking mean-spirited they are. You know what I mean? Optics in this situation is very important.
I'm serious.
The police did not protect us. The police has never protected us.
Yeah, the police had to amass to a certain level to deal with the.
We had to protect us after fighting the fascists for 7 hours. We had to defend ourselves from the police when they showed up.
Yeah. Well, again, if that's true, that's completely unacceptable. Why? We can't have the police attacking people that they're here to protect, given the aggressors who came on campus. I mean, that's not acceptable.
It's a nice sentiment, but I want to see it in practice.
Well, we have to understand. I mean, there's a lot happening last night. We're still trying to understand exactly what happened, which is why there's going to be an investigation that's going to get to the bottom of the whole thing.
What do you not understand about what happened last night?
Well, I mean, you're giving me accounts of things that I didn't personally see, and we're trying to figure out.
Gene Block saw. Gene Block saw what happened.
I'm sorry?
Videos of it that are posted everywhere.
Yeah, but when you're accusing someone of doing something, you have to.
Oh my God, they should just show them the video. If only one of the students had a video that they could show, like a Twitter thread.
That would help us, make people accountable who did things. I mean, we're going to try to do the same thing with the people who attacked the camp.
Did we not find out that Gene Block was sitting up there in Royce watching this all happen?
He wasn't in Royce, I don't think, but he was watching, as was I. Yeah. Well, I don't know where he was personally because we weren't in the same space.
He's doing a bad job. He's doing a bad job defending these positions.
Today, that he was sitting in Royce Hall and watched everything happen and unfold. What do you have to say about that? How do you feel about that? How do you feel that our chancellor was sitting in Royce Hall while he saw all of us ambushed, raided, maced, beaten, brutalized? How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Left to fucking die. How does that make you feel?
Well,
what do you have to say about that?
Well,
what do you have to say about Block sitting in there not doing anything, watching it unfold? We could have got killed.
Black was on the phone calling every police office he could find to try to get people out here to stop what was going on. That's what he was doing. I mean, he wasn't going to come out himself and put on a suit, I think, and fight, back. Well, I mean, that was his role as chancellor, was to call authorities and to get the
The thing is that you're not hearing is that while you guys are looking into it, while you guys are investigating, we are the ones living it. We are the ones who are on the front lines with our bodies, trying to make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe. While you guys are calling police, while you guys are calling on people to come brutalize us, we are the ones here trying to protect ourselves. There's no urgency. We don't see any urgency from you guys coming and trying to prevent these things from happening. We've been in this encampment for
5-6 days now, and the nights have been escalating. The violence that we've experienced has only escalated as each night continues. And the fact that this had to happen for you to come and talk to us, for you to actually give a shit about our people being on the front lines, about being brutalized, is like, it shows your guys' intentions. You've never been here in good faith. You've never listened to the students. The fact that we have to get beat for you to care about us shows your intentions.
Well, no, actually, that's not true. Let me correct the record. Like, again, since Friday, I've been trying to meet with you, well before last night happened. And we couldn't find a date. We had originally...
we have a question we want an answer to. Is there going to be a sweep or not? You've been threatening us. The university has been threatening us with a sweep.
No. So, what I'm told is that the police officers who are currently here, who we do not direct at this point, they've amassed...
I think this dude came out knowing that they would be caught off guard and we yell at him, discredited movement as a part of previous negotiations. As a part of previous... Wait, what did he say? Did he say that
we want to give amnesty to students who are just here in the encampment, and not pursue them for student conduct violations for anything they may have done in the encampment. If they're... I'm sorry? I'm sorry? For being here.
What you need to understand is that to this day, the university is not only profiting off of violence, not only in Palestine, but here. Did you not allow Zionists to come and terrorize us on Sunday? You gave them permits. That is a microcosm of the violence that is being enacted in Gaza. You to this day are allowing Zionists onto this campus. You knew they were here. You said that you did not know. What is Sunday? They raised $80,000 to terrorize us. And you allowed this to happen. You don't need UCPD. You don't need LAPD because you have Zionists. And enabling them to do so is evidence that you have Not only do you have no sense, you have no morality.
Yeah. Well,
They did talk about divestment earlier, Bonetown and Mogay.
An hour ago, the UCPD that you...
But you said, as a part of previous negotiations with UC, this is not a good strategy. In 2006, I was part of a negotiation team at UCSC. I think this dude came out knowing that they would be caught off guard and would yell at him, discrediting the movement. I think that is like part of the goal here, is that this is not an honest discussion, but instead simply to just like make the students look emotional in the face of a dude who's cool, calm, and collected.
How will we stop hundreds of people running on campus from different directions?
We don't. We protected ourselves. But what you need to understand is that whatever happened last night is on your hands. Whatever happens today with these cops, when they come and do whatever they do to us, we understand what we're facing. And we're standing here, understanding this and ready for whatever is to come. But we need you to know that whatever happens to us, that's on the school. Whatever happens tomorrow in response to what happens today, that's on the school. Because we're here to protect our stance. We're here to push our mission.
Taking up the encampments.
I know you're saying, oh, I don't have power over the over the LAPD. You don't have jurisdiction over them. We understand what we are facing down. And the impact that the school can have by cutting these investments. That is what we are here facing, this brutality in order to push. So if they clear us, you've seen what happens to other schools after they've cleared their encampments. What happened the next day? This movement doesn't end today. This movement will never end until divestment. You just need to understand that as we get brutalized, as we get arrested, whatever happens to the students right here, we will keep pushing until divestment.
I want to re-emphasize that cops stood 100 yards away from what was happening to us yesterday. And what is happening to us tomorrow, what is happening to us today, we will not stop. We will not stop from coming back. We will not stop from doing whatever we can, wherever we are, from wherever you put us. We will continue to fight for Gaza because we are facing a sliver of the repression and the violence that is happening in Palestine. We are facing it today by your hands, by the cops covering their badge numbers down there, by the cops flying over us right now. You have jurisdiction, you have power.
They shut off the green area.
You have power to talk to Block, you have power to talk to every administrator fucking harassing us and calling cops to assault us.
And I'm going to answer your question since you asked what we want the police to do. What did the police do in this situation different than Tulsa? What did the police do in this situation different than Greensboro? What did the police do in this situation different from every other instance of mass lynching where they just put their hands in their pockets when they went up in the jails to grab niggas to lynch them? What did they do? Would you tell a Tulsa massacre victim that they should have called they should have expected more from the police? Be so for real right now. And the thing about the sweep,
right.
and let me finish. And the thing about the sweep is, Eli is exactly right. You sweep us today, and we're gonna be right back tomorrow. I want you to understand. I want you to get it through your head that you are gonna have to tell these pigs to take the life out my body before I stop. You got to take the life out of my body. You are going to have to physically remove me from this earth before I stop fighting for the people of Gaza.
Okay, so I had the courage to come and speak to you today because I believe in you. I did. I mean, I didn't have to come here to talk to you. I came here to talk to you because I wanted to hear your concerns. I'm hearing them. But, you know, if I didn't care about any of the things you're saying, I would not be here. Trust me.
You are here as an agent of the state in blackface.
I don't
You
need
have
to
to
do that.
understand
I don't need
they
to do
have
that.
you as a black man talking to all of us to cover their asses. And you get paid to do that shit. You get paid $500,000 out of our fucking tuition money to come here and sit in our faces and kiki like an asshole.
White supremacists, liberals, and reactionaries alike love using black faces to do the fucking dirty deed. It is not a mere accident that so many that speak at the UN, okay, all the way from Colin Powell, who very famously put up that fake bullshit to say there's yellow cake uranium and weapons of mass destruction, down to Eric Adams, and down to every single American envoy to the United Nations right now being black is not an accident. It's not. 100% is a shield. That absolutely is correct.
You know, we can't just.
These endless bureaucratic.
You know,
we know how to do it. If you listen to us, then we could do it for you.
Well, you tell me how to do it. You know, I mean, to find out here at UCLA where the things we control. You know, I mean that's what we can focus on.
Yeah, but the reality is, you have the documents where you know where you're investing. You know where those investments go.
Well,
that is the case. We have them, so you must have them.
That's something we can look into. I don't
No. That's something that you know, that you're aware of, that we know. And in fact, a lot of these. Then do your job. I'm sorry. Look where you're putting your money, because at some point it gets frustrating. Because I am seeing things like, for example, the Regent's portfolio. They reinvested in ExxonMobil in November. ExxonMobil, which fuels the tanks, it fuels the helicopters, it fuels the entire Israeli apparatus, and they invested it back in November. In November, they invest back in it.
Yeah, it's not. ExxonMobil divestment is also like a fossil fuel angle too, like an environmentally conscious divestment angle as well. So there's like, divestment has successfully worked for a lot of stock portfolios and a lot of hedge funds that will move away from fossil fuel and like planet destroying initiatives, specifically in an attempt to like appease the masses. So they're actually perfectly valid in demanding transparency, specifically so that they can actually figure out what are the most viable targets of divestment.
Get us at the table with the people that matter. What is this conversation for?
Well, this is what we're trying to do. I mean, if the whole goal is just to bring me here to shame me, I mean, what is the path forward? I want to work with you to try to figure out how to move forward. Excuse me?
I think it's clear that...
I mean, like I said, why would I come here to take abuse just to come here?
I think it's clear that we're not going to be able to reach like a specific understanding today of what exactly divestment means.
Yeah.
But it's very clear that what the understanding on the administrator's side is not in alignment with what we understand. Okay. So what I think happens moving forward is we're not going to let you task force us out of organizing. We're not gonna concede our camp just because you say you're going to propose a vote, or whether you're going to propose a task force that's then going to propose a vote that's then going to get rejected. We're not going to stop until we reach a collective understanding of what divestment means, which is very different than what the administration currently believes. And once that vote is affirmative, once the university commits to this divestment, then we will stop. We will not stop before that, because we know that the university has a tendency to outweigh us, to say that we're going to do this through alternate channels and push the students out of that and outweigh us, and then eventually it's out of your hands and then they vote no. So we're not moving until the vote is yes. Once we understand what divestment means, and once it is agreed upon, not just agreed to vote, because we know you can just vote no after all that. So you need to vote yes.
So,
just one thing.
Yes.
I don't know if you see the amount of students that we have here.
I do.
That is only a small amount a small percentage compared to the amount of students that stand behind us that will keep coming back over and over and over. You can't stop this encampment because you could sweep and there'll be another one the next hour, okay? Because divestment, not only now, is a UCLA-wide, but also a UC-wide movement, but also a nationwide, worldwide movement.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You can't kill the movement.
Well,
You can't arrest the movement. We will wait here until there is divestment.
Right.
Because we know you can do it. You've done it before. You've done it before in 1986. So what stops it now?
Yeah.
Back then you said task force 2. Back then you said we gotta evaluate our risks of investments.
Talking about the apartheid.
And yet, guess what? It happened within 4 months.
okay. Well, I'm
These
committed
kids are
to,
dumb and they will
looking
lose in
into
the
what we can do
long
here at
run. Just
UCLA,
leave these
and I will
orgs.
look into it. I mean, like you said.
Thanks, Chatter. Thank you for playing a formative role in this by seeing grave injustice and then seeing a bunch of students stand up to that in a very brave way, and then typing in a Twitch chat about how silly all of this is and that people should just stop. You know, history books are filled to the brim with people like you, famously. It's always like, guys, abolition of slavery can't happen. Fucking calm down. Calm down. Yeah, just leave. Just leave the orgs. Fuck them. Come on. Is this the best you got? You could have been at least a little bit more entertaining and interesting by claiming that the organizations are like backed by the IRGC or Hamas or Hezbollah, that these students are actually an Iranian proxy, but instead you chose to do this weak ass bitch shit. Just leave the org. Come on. Come on, dude. Also, overall, in spite of the circumstances of being brutalized by Zionist counter-protesters only a couple hours prior and having the police do nothing, okay? Having the police do absolutely fucking nothing to protect them, it seems like they're keeping their composure relatively well, all things considered.
Okay.
Especially when having a member of the administration show up like this to specifically, quote unquote, debate the students under the guise of simply asking questions and also simultaneously tell them that, like, well, actually, everything that you experienced last night, I wasn't there to see, so I don't know. And if you tell me that, like, the actual dean was there to see it, I'll just simply tell you, well, I didn't see it. And also, I have no power.
We are the ones in danger.
Well, like I said, I mean, because we still have to figure out how to protect you, but given what happened.
It's like you said at the beginning, a huge fundamental failure, not only for letting that shit happen last night, but then arresting us who were attacked and not even going after the people who gave me this shit right here. Gave me this shit right here.
That is really fucked up.
All of the violence that was enacted upon us, we left with no accountability, no treatment from the police. But then once we sit here and
just
demand,
ask, like, do you think that's just? Do you think that's permissible? Do you think that's honest?
Be put on us. And we're the students here.
Yeah.
You see how that looks? That's a failure on your part.
Well, that's one of the reasons
The LA Times changed their article title again.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
The university has clearly chosen
After violent night at UCLA, another title change from LA Times.
And one of the reasons that we're offering amnesty, for students who.
I love checking back in.
That we've been saying and that we will honor.
I love checking back in periodically with the Los Angeles Times to see, like, how much worse it can get. Hopefully, in the next 24-hour period, they'll hit the full Monty and be like, it was actually pro-Hamas students that attacked the Jewish students and said things like kill all the Jews as UC president launches investigation into response. Just directly the inverse of what actually happened, the exact opposite.
It's like after everything yesterday, and yet the university still can't get us someone across the bargaining table that actually makes decisions. It's crazy.
Well,
it's crazy.
Well, you're not,
what more needs to happen
well, you're not,
for us to talk about the people who actually control the investments, or at least control the fact that Jean Block yesterday released a statement calling our assembly unlawful for no reason.
Yeah, well, it's not bargaining when you have demands that you're not budging on, and that's not bargaining. That you're making a demand. So I'm here to discuss ways that we can.
We're not bargaining. We're demanding.
That we can both meet. That's what bargaining is. We're not bargaining.
Your answer to that, your offer is 5 months, so maybe investigation, and let's see what happened. And we don't know if it happened, even though it was on live stream and everything was recorded and everything was sent to the university. Even though we had an unprecedented amount of press, even though our own students are saying it. The victims of this very attack are telling you that this happened, and yet you don't know if it happened, and we'll have to look into it.
I didn't say it didn't happen. What happened was horrific. We just don't know the specific acts, so we can hold people accountable. That's what we're saying.
Just show them a video and be like, you think this is good?
But we need to hold people accountable. We need to find the individuals who did it.
And your response to that is then punishing the students who are here to demand a divestment?
Well, no, we're not punishing the students.
Oh, the sweep is not?
That's not the point.
They should ask him to watch a video and go through piece by piece, because he's just like expertly moving goalposts, basically.
Your solution to shutting down the Zionist fascist thugs that want to beat us up is to put us behind bars?
No, it's not to put you behind bars. We're talking about amnesty for the students. That's what we're talking about. And we've repeatedly said that, but you're ignoring that. I keep saying that. We're not here to punish. That's not the point. That's not the point.
So instead of maybe calling the mayor or maybe calling the governor to call up the sweep, you're gonna go to Royce Hall just like Gene Block, watch us get brutalized by the LAPD. Is that what you're gonna do?
Well, the police, they make an assessment of the safety of a situation. We don't make that call. They're gonna do what they think once they're here to break up what was.
They should ask him to condemn the Zionist counter protesters.
You have the authority to call them. You have the authority. I mean,
but once they get here, they're following protocols. You know, we're not police officers. I'm not a police officer. You know?
Why should we let him leave?
What you need to understand is that you
shut up, Brett. That's insane.
You really understand shit like that. Because right now you are sitting on our faces understanding that students have been brutalized. We know that we keep each other safe. We document it. We have so much evidence against you, against the university, against LAPD, against UCPD, against CSC that wasn't even willing to walk people back to their cars while we're being bombarded. And you're going to sit here and be like, I don't have anything that I can say. I don't know what to do. You are a disgrace to the entire black community. I need you to know that.
With all due respect.
I need you to know that. Because people like you get into positions of power because of things like this, and then you forget where you fucking came from.
No, trust me, I know where I came from, and again, what you're forgetting is when this encampment set up, we did not move to dismantle it. In fact, we were working with you to keep it going until what happened last night. And that's different than what happened in other places.
And then on the first day of the encampment, already, like 2 hours in, we had counter-protesters day and night. They had been here.
We didn't send counter-protesters. We tried to manage the situation.
And you didn't stop them. You're talking about safety. You're talking about student safety.
There is free speech. As long as they're not doing violent acts, we can't stop them.
They were doing violent actions.
And when they did,
on the second
second day of the encampment.
And when they did, we had people intervene to stop that because we can't allow the acts to go on, you know, indefinitely. Last night, they were overwhelmed in terms of the violent acts. That's the whole point.
So,
you know.
So when the Zionists, on the first day we set up, when a Zionist told me, when a Zionist threatened to rape me, that was free speech?
No, I didn't hear that, and no one reported it, as far as I know. That's nothing.
Hey, there were so many people around. We have all heard those comments. I am certain that security has heard those comments. So why has the university?
That is absolutely on video. Man, this guy sure seemingly has not done his research. So odd. Every time something that a Zionist has done that makes their entire counter protest look exactly as violent as it actually is, he's like, oh fuck, I haven't seen it.
Let me fucking talk, first of all. So you speak of free speech. What the fuck is harassing, sexually harassing, physically assaulting, verbally assaulting, psychologically assaulting students and community members free speech? How is that fucking free speech? I don't want to hear about that shit. Because you're not allowing us to assert our free speech. You are complicit in fascism. You are an entity of fascism. Shame on you.
Shame! Shame!
I hear that you're coming from this place of like, I have no power to do anything here.
No,
I can't.
That's not where I'm coming from.
Right.
I'm coming from, I have certain things I can do and other things I can't do.
Okay.
And I'm trying to work with you on the things I can do. That's my point.
Okay. Just now, about an hour ago, we had a press conference with about over 100 media sites, right? 100 media outlets. We have every 360-degree angle coverage of what happened last night, the absolute brutality that came from all angles. Clear Zionist aggression. There's helicopter footage that shows it was a Zionist mob that came in. It was not a skirmish. It was not a battle, right? We were brutally attacked in the middle of the night. Can you stop just like interrupting with some little noises? Okay, thank you. And, okay. You see how clear the Zionist aggression is, right? We have been sitting here minding our P's and Q's for a week. We had people come in with bananas when we had signs everywhere that said there's a camper here who will die if there are bananas in the encampment. So they brought dozens and dozens of bananas. They hid them all throughout the encampment. We had people coming here yelling racial slurs, saying, you know, go to your master, calling people dogs. We had people spitting on them. On Sunday, at an event you permitted, you gave them a permit. You allowed them to fundraise tens of thousands of dollars when their GoFundMe page literally fucking says we want to basically terrorize them. We want to play videos of October 7th deep into the night and make it so that they can't sleep, they can't think, they can't do anything, right? This is psychological torture. I do not use those words lightly. That is their intention. Okay, and then you're going to say it is completely out of my hands what the LAPD does today to brutalize us. Okay, the LAPD, yes, maybe they intended to sweep before the actions of last night, but it is clear who the aggressors are in these situations. Don't act like you can't talk to Chancellor Block. Don't act like you can't talk to whoever does make these calls. You can't call the mayor and you have no sway here. That you can't say these kids are sitting here, they are students, they have a First Amendment right to stay here. And then these Zionists, the ones who are saying we have guns, we have knives, we have bombs, we have pepper spray, we want to kill you. That's the shit they're saying to us. And you're going to let them sit there. You're going to call the police, have them come in on us.
This is looking like a Maoist struggle session. What they should ask him is if he would stay with them for the duration of the encampment. Not in a physical threatening way, but in like a, if you truly are with it, if you're truly with the shits, come sit with us, come stand with us, put your body to the cause. Not in like a hostage situation. I mean like voluntarily.
Despite how ceasefire negotiations go out, that there will be an imminent land invasion on Rafah imminently. Doesn't matter what the UN says. Doesn't matter what the international thing. So millions more people are going to die. That is the stakes here. We cannot wait like 4 more months. We cannot wait 4 more days. People are dying right now. We are already 208 days late. We are already 75 years late. You have no excuses. You have to pull. I'm looking into your eyes as a person. I'm not here to yell at you. I'm not here because I don't see like And because I think you are subhuman, anything like that. That's what they see in us. Yeah. I'm looking at you because you are in a specific position of power, and it is a people's movement that has to go and move the people in power, and you have to move the other people in power. If it is not you who has the gavel to clamp down and say divestment, you have to go to every single person who you have contact with and tell them the time is now. There is no time to wait.
Bro, she said they brought bananas because one of their group was allergic. Yeah, the bananas thing is so wild. It's real. There's a sign right there, back there. You can see it. That's their food tent where it says no bananas, severe allergy. The Israel defenders found that out and literally brought a shit ton of bananas and tried to throw it into the encampment, which is one of the most insane things you can do. Okay? It's so fucking gross.
But I can't, but I know. I mean, it's pretty clear what the region's policy is on BDS and so forth and so on.
Like, that's just straight up malicious.
Well,
like,
yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't seen the report. Send it to me. Send it to me.
No problem, of course.
Can we get that in writing?
Yeah.
Can we get your promise that you will advocate for us in writing? We cannot take your word.
I will apologize for what happened last night. Again, I don't think any of us were prepared for it. And it's something that was horrific. This should have never happened.
What happened last night is a symptom. It's not the problem. The problem is your investment in the mass murder of Palestinians and people around the world.
The students were very prepared for it.
What happened last night, that's just one symptom. It's going to keep happening.
Okay, Brett, don't chirp in.
So we don't want you to come here and apologize and then just watch it happen over and over again. We want you to get to the root of the problem. We're telling you what the problem is.
Yeah, I hear you. And again, I will do what I can do, you know, and I need to know. I need to know more.
So what can you do then? Because there are hundreds of students here. So why would the university send us someone who can't do shit?
Well, I mean,
what can you do for us?
Well, how many people can do anything? I mean, we need to know first of all what we're talking about. I mean, would you rather meet with the head of the investment foundation? I came here to talk about a number of different.
But it seems like we're getting kicked out of here before we can do that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Last night.
What?
Call off the pigs.
Yeah, I mean, again, what happened last night is why we are where we are right now. You know, and you know, we're not controlling the shots at this point in terms of the police. I guess the police and whatever protocol they put together, you know.
Call them right now.
Yeah. Well,
call the mayor.
That's not my role. Yeah.
You can. Hey, hold on. Yeah. If you think what happened to us last night is so bad, it's so horrific, that it was a mob violence, putting aside your position as an administrator of this institution, of this carceral, genocidal institution, surely your personal opinion should mean that you don't think we should get swept. If you think we should get swept, then you'll stay silent. If you think we shouldn't get swept, then maybe you should call the people you know and let them know in your personal opinion that you think that's wrong.
Yeah, well, the one thing I know is that it's not safe right now, and safety is our biggest concern because we're concerned about what may happen. You know, we don't know. I mean, these people are obviously crazed. It was a mob mentality, violence, and it's hard to control or to know what that may be, you know?
Okay.
And we do have a responsibility for public safety. I mean, that's an overriding concern. In the same way, well, for you, I mean, if you're here, but no, you're not in a jail cell. We're talking about amnesty. If you want to leave, you're free to leave right now before they sweep, and there won't be any repercussions for anything you did for being in the encampment.
Wait, what do you mean before we
sweep?
sweep?
Your choice to do that, you know. But that's not a necessary.
Do you still think this has bad optics? No, fuck no. He's like,
I am listening. You're not listening to me. I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Okay, you must understand that a sweep is giving every Zionist and every perpetrator of genocide a victory, an explicit victory, and you are communicating to them that they won and that we got swept, and you know that. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you simply, I am not going to interrupt you. I'm going to encourage everyone here to not interrupt you.
It's a very bad precedent.
What can you do for us?
Well, I've talked about some things I can do for you.
What is it?
Well, you know, okay, so...
Yeah.
We're going to work on the divestment. We're going to find more about what's going on with the UCLA investment company, that 0.04% and any other companies to see if there's anything we can do about that we have under our control here at UCLA. I mean, I don't personally know that. I mean, I did get information, from them that was the summary that I shared with you, but there's a lot more detail, obviously, in terms of how you define it versus the way they defined it. So we need to understand that. That's one thing I can do. I can do that right now. And then I can find out whether we have the authority to actually, divest from those companies. I obviously can't do it UC-wide. And again, the regents may even step in and say we can't do it here, but I don't think that's the case. Okay, so there's that. We talked about a Palestinian Study Center. Now, that doesn't address your concerns, I understand, but in spirit, it allows us to shine a spotlight on what's going on in Gaza and other places. Yeah.
In spirit.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same way that you're protesting and giving voice to your concerns, you can do those things through a center formally in conjunction with this, that, and the other. You can also continue to protest anywhere on campus in accordance with TPM, time, policy and manner, Well, because they're designed for safety. This is not aligned with safety because of obviously what happened. I explained to you before about our campus and how it's open and how we can't control the borders.
Bro, he's literally trying to justify a fucking police sweep by saying it's for your safety that we have to come in and violently arrest you.
It is.
We have
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, then stay with the protesters. Ensure the safety of all the protesters. Surely the police won't beat a vice chancellor of the university.
We want an immediate statement calling for an end to the ceasefire. Calling for a ceasefire and an end to the occupation.
Yeah.
And we want an academic and cultural boycott, including ending of the study abroad program. Nowhere in there. We also want total amnesty. We also, mind you, given how fucked up you guys responded last night, we want full payment of every student's medical bills here. And you know what? A center for the study of Palestine is not doing shit for any of those.
Okay.
We created our own center right here.
Okay.
We're already learning what we want to learn and saying what we want to say. So we don't need you to set up a center for us. We're telling you what we want, and we need you to hear that.
I heard that loud and clear. Thank you.
You are acting like this came out of nowhere. We've been protesting. We've been following time, place, and manner, or not following time, place, and manner. Either way, we've been telling you what has been wrong. We've been telling you that the genocide in Gaza and the occupation of Palestine has to end. That the blood of our hands, on our hands, as students, as faculty, as admin, as the UC, has to end. We need to stop aiding and abetting.
Yeah.
This destruction, this inhumanity.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it. I mean, we went to Murphy. We told you guys our demands. We dropped pages and pages of our demands.
Yeah.
We explained exactly where we were investing, what we were demanding, how divestment looked like.
Yeah.
You are acting like this is out of nowhere, that students are camping here, which is not the case. It's just that you haven't been listening. And this is another example. This is another example of not being listened to, being told the same answers over and over. I mean, G Block has never met with us. G Block doesn't want to meet with us because you're not taking us seriously, and we need you to understand. We will be taken seriously.
Yeah, well,
we will be taken seriously.
Trust me, I'm taking you seriously. I'm engaging with the demands over which we have control. I was hoping that we could have that conversation and that you would give me the grace to kind of talk that through. I mean, given everything that's happened. I'm sorry that things happened the way they happened last night. We're trying to do what we can do, and one of the things that
one of the things that we can do is orchestrate a campus-wide sweep.
Not to have an encampment.
Orchestrate a campus-wide sweep. Offer amnesty to those who are unsubscribed to the top of the hour in the form of gifted subs when the 3-minute ad break is here.
We know, because we've studied at UCLA, we've learned critical thinking.
Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break.
LAPD has a pattern on how they treat protesters and how they treat people.
Yeah. So now, if you're not a recipient of a gifted sub, then all you need to do is subscribe on your own for $5 or for free.
We're not leaving. You know we are going to stay here. And again, I recognize and I see, give me a second, I see that they sent you out here and you have limited power. That's clear.
Here's the 3
and
minute
the person
right
that should be sitting here is not here, and they did that on purpose to
Uh-oh. We lost Brett.
tire us out. They want this conversation to tire us out.
Yeah.
Sub to Hasan to support Palestine law. I've never said that. As a matter of fact, I said the exact opposite. This has nothing to do with supporting Palestine and everything to do with you avoiding the ads at the top of the fucking hour. Okay? It's effing. I'm going to try to turn it on again.
Earlier in the day, and you give a report to the people above you saying you did every
You know this man is going to snap at somebody after he leaves? No, but I do fear that the moment that he leaves, in the immediate moments after he leaves, I fear that there is going to be a sweep. Which is why I keep fucking asking. I mean, I wish they would be like, listen, if you truly care about our safety, then you stand here with us. Because as long as the university is here, as long as an administrative official in the university is here with us, standing side by side, then the cops won't hurt us. Surely the cops won't beat the shit out of a black vice chancellor. I mean, think of the optics of that. I guess he said that, someone said that he asked that, they asked that, and he said he can't do that.
genuinely and honestly and said that you are not here to protect us. That way we can respond accordingly. Don't give us answers that
my intention again.
Sick of this grifter pretending to be a socialist, but not once have you invited me to live in your home, feed me, or give me a sub. I denounce HasanAbi. A sweep, chat, is what cops usually do at homeless encampments. It's just it's to take down the encampments. They're gonna go in, arrest all the fucking students that are resisting, and take down all the
Campus
tents.
is unsafe, whether it's here, in class, in dorms, or anything like that. If you make a sweep today, it is just acknowledging that you're aiding the Zionists, aiding this ideology. And
It's also what happened to LeBron. No, it didn't. He won one. Shut the fuck up.
It's basically.
That's not a sweep. Technically, definitionally, that's not a
Security
sweep.
is here to watch us, not to protect us. The security is here to keep us in line. The security is here to prevent us from making our voices heard. The security is here to intimidate us.
The security is
not here to protect us.
Maintain the barrier.
The security is not here to protect us. They have repeatedly told us that.
Yeah. Well.
And LAPD is going to be here to brutalize us, not to protect us. You're sitting here, playing in our faces, telling us that I'm going to call the cops because I'm going to call the pigs in because we want to keep you all safe.
Yeah.
Be serious.
Yeah.
Be serious.
All right.
The first round, shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's 4-1.
It's because you're scared of how many students
It's
there are
4-1.
here, of how big this movement has gotten,
Look,
of how dedicated we
okay.
are,
I'm
how organized, how structured. No, because
Which is
the
worse,
reality
LAPD or
is,
NYPD? They're both pretty bad. I would probably assume the NYPD is maybe worse, but I don't know. LAPD has sheriff's gangs.
Wherever we are, wherever we go, they will come.
Stop.
So we
Stop
will
saying
stand
the first
strong
round.
for our
Stop it.
beliefs, because our university aids and abets it and accepts their fascist ideology, so they know they're safe here.
Yeah.
And they know that you'll silence us instead of
He's
erupting
leaving
them
the Lakers. You don't know
whenever
that.
it is stopping them, which, by the way, you did nothing. You did nothing. We kept each other safe. We will continue to keep each other safe. And this encampment is safe. It's safe because we get to express we get to protest and envision a world where our university does not invest in the genocide of the Palestinian people.
Right. Well, that's the one thing that UCLA we can look into, and I came here with the genuine hope of, having a conversation and finding an off-ramp, something that would meet your needs. And
what
sort of
off-ramp, bro? You said you're powerless.
demands.
Like, what the fuck?
And I see that, it's falling short, or at least you're not accepting, what I've offered as in any way addressing your demands. But it's not so much about
Georgia State University
individually. I think it's sort of the power of our
having graduating students wearing keffiyehs dragged off campus and threatening to rescind their degrees.
And,
what the fuck?
We're trying our best to be an advocate to move things forward, but unilaterally it's hard to do that. And so I came with the idea of focusing on the things that we could do, not realizing, because I hadn't met with you, that
it's so awesome that this professional managerial class representative is giving a taste of neoliberal bureaucracy to the students by being like, I have no unilateral capacity. Guys, listen, this is not how it's done. Let me tell you, as an adult, let me tell you
what next steps are, but I think we want to try to do whatever we can to.
According to
at the end of the day,
LeBron is leaving the Lakers and heading to the Warriors.
We said that we
that's crazy.
We're praying for a ceasefire and something that, again,
we are interested. We are interested in negotiating with you, right? But none of these offers. Okay, yeah, bargaining, right? How does bargaining work? You have leverage. Our leverage right now is that we have this encampment here and we're not going to move. Our leverage right now is that every single media outlet in the entire United States of America, including around the world, is looking at you right now. There are cameras everywhere watching the way you're responding to us, right? That is our leverage. Okay, we are going to use our leverage to bargain with you. However, we cannot bargain with you in good faith if you do not try to genuinely protect our safety, right? I'm going to read you some things that the Zionists were saying yesterday on a live stream. The cops arrived. They pulled up maybe 4 hours after the brutality had already begun. And the Zionists on the megaphone started saying, none of us on this side ever want to defund the police. All of us love you and all of us respect you. We support. They started chanting, we back the blue, defend the blue, over and over again, right? The police do not scare them. They know that the police are on their side. They know that, okay? We know that the police are not on our side. We know that when the police show up, if they're also throwing pepper spray into the encampment, the police aren't going to go over there and confiscate the pepper spray, even though that's what's fucking causing the brutality. They're going to come in here and say this is declaring a lawful assembly. Another thing, hundreds of people around Los Angeles, including in the encampment yesterday, were calling LAPD. People who were being actively brutalized said, we are calling 911. We're asking for EMTs. We're asking for police, all these things. And they said, we cannot come in yet because we have not gotten the UC's jurisdiction. They have not yet allowed us into the encampment. They said that, okay?
No. We called 911 immediately when we saw what was happening, when it was clear that our police were overwhelmed. And that's
they
all
didn't do shit.
And again, that's going to come out.
This is not the first time. Remember back in March when we also slept outside?
I was there. I heard the call. Yeah. Well, I was there when we requested. I was there when we requested. Okay, well, I was there when we requested, and I think the investigation will show the facts. But look, I need to go. So I appreciate it.
I think it's.
You should see what.
At first, the optics were bad for the students. I think it like they were very understandably emotional, but it's so obvious that he's like there with disingenuous purpose, and he just flailed around, basically said he had no fucking power, and is now just going, yeah, a sweep is inevitable. Sorry, bye. He's leaving because the faculty is saying their hearing the sweep is scheduled for 6 p.m. A Department of Education faculty member, this is a reporter for Bolt's magazine. Piper French says the Department of Education faculty member tells me faculty has been hearing the camp will be cleared by police tonight. He's been hearing the possibility of 6 p.m., but it's all rumors now.
Don't let him go. That's our leverage. You think they'll tear gas the Vice Chancellor?
We could have stalled them. We could have maybe just stalled them and kept talking to them for a long ass time.
Free Palestine! Free
All right, guys.
He said, can't stop an administrator from clocking out at 5. He was like, listen, guys, my job here is over. It's 5 p.m. Peace. I got texted for some people. Brett, this sweep is scheduled for 6, but they've created shields and shit. It's going to get wild. Be safe, chatter.